What's good, everybody? I'm Justin Miller, owner of Legends of Athletics. Let me adjust my seat. What's good, everybody? I'm Justin Miller, owner of Legends of Athletics, back with another YouTube episode. And so today, I want to talk to you guys about factors that affect training, such as psychological factors, environmental factors, and things of that nature. If you like the content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and as always, be legendary. So we're in that in-between time of seasons changing. And right now, I don't know if the mic is picking it up, but it's raining pretty hard here. And we're in that in-between time, that transition time of the year where, it rains a lot, gets hot, gets cold before the season just actually change. And so for me right now, I'm recording in my home office, and I feel like God, man. I feel like Jim Carrey did in what's the name of the movie? Ace Ventura. So if you ever seen Ace Ventura, that's what I feel like right now when he was in that rhino. So anyway, let's get to the topic at hand. Appreciate everybody for taking the time to listen to me ramble, taking the time to make me a part of your day and to learn a little bit. So with this video, I want to talk about psychological factors and environmental factors that affect speed. Most of the time, if you follow any speed coaches or you follow any of that stuff on algorithms, or you like one video and now it's all that spews out, you hear coaches talk about the best times that they have, and then you hear coaches and players talk about like their best days, their PR days. But rarely do we talk about things that affect those PRs and things that along the way in our journey to becoming faster or becoming a better athlete. We rarely see discussions talking about things that affect those factors. And so I just want to go over that in this video. And so firstly, I want to talk about psychological factors. So with me, I primarily work with the majority of my clientele right now are high school students. I have some college students as well, and some middle school and elementary students as well. But primarily, we work with a lot of high school students, high school athletes. And so with that, factors that are obvious that you wouldn't think of are things such as stress, sleep, if they're in a relationships, and this could be with family or friends, or boyfriend, girlfriend, boyfriend, however you want to phrase that. Those three things are things I think of offhand that affect training. So how do these things affect training? Well, if we have a breakup, we have a disagreement, have an argument with a parent, have a disagreement with a parent, confrontation, things like that. Well, those are sending certain chemical endorphins and things like that from our brain signals down through our bodies, and that affects our mood. That affects not only our mood, but affects how we feel. Low levels of dopamine within the winter and the fall, sometimes, just depending on where you stay at, what's your geographic location. And so those low levels of dopamine make us feel a little less motivated. Maybe depression sets in, lethargic. Maybe you feel those three things, or other symptoms of low dopamine responses, which when we're not motivated, then we're not going to push ourselves to be our best. We don't feel that light, airy feeling or that excitement feeling. And so those things do affect us. Same thing as, a ended relationship or disagreement in a relationship, whether that be parental, friends, close mentors, or somebody that you have a affection towards. Those things affect the athlete because then you have to deal with the thoughts and feelings that go towards it. So we're taking energy away from our training. We're taking energy away from being the best that we can be in this arena of athleticism, and we're putting that towards something else. And that's normal. That's human nature. So I'm not knocking that. Some people may knock it. As a coach, I don't knock that. That's part of life, and it happens. So as a coach, what I have to do is try to coach you through it and get the best that we can get from that day. Then we may start working on things such as compartmentalization techniques, things like that, so that we can manage that stress or manage that stressor, and mosey on and be the best we can be and show up as our best selves. Now, some people are better at doing this than others, but it's all a matter of just who you are and how you're wired. Yeah, so those three things are the first three things I would say. Now, how do environmental factors affect us? Well, when you have a day like today or yesterday, for us here in Mississippi and Alabama. For if you have a day like that, then you know, you just don't feel as upbeat as possible, and that has to do with the sun kind of peaking on us. You don't get as much sunlight, so therefore you don't get as much vitamin D, which goes back to affecting our dopamine levels. And so when you don't have it in your body, you may feel tired, may feel sluggish again, and just really not motivated to do what you need to do and put the effort forth in what we need to do. And so those things are what we really want to hone in on as far as affecting our times and things of that nature. So how do we get through that? How do we navigate that? Well, we navigated, one, by showing up as our best selves, and then two, we want to really focus on our technique for that day. So really focus on the things that are going to make us better, the things that are going to turn over in the long haul and the big picture. And then three, we want to give the best effort that we have. And as a coach, if I see that we can give more effort, then we will go for more effort. Now, does feeling these thoughts, feelings, and emotions always equal or do they always correlate to having a bad day? No, they don't. Some of my best days in the gym, some of my best days on the field have been days where I didn't feel my best. And so we can't always lean on feeling our best, but these are factors that could affect us in what we're trying to do, as far as maybe that's a day that you had to show up for a camp. Maybe a coach wants you to run, things that nature. Those are things that are going to affect us. Also, I want to go back to this point that I didn't hit earlier, is weather. Weather affects us, not just rain, but if it's cold. If it's cold, you're not going to hit your best times. And that's just natural, because one, it doesn't matter how long we warm up. You're just not, the environment is not conducive to you being your best. So the ground, regardless if it's turf or grass, will be a little firmer, a little harder. So it's giving you more energy back through the joints and the feet, and the lower half of your chain. The wind, is the wind blowing to you or away from you? Is it a swirling wind? Things of that nature. So then we have to factor in forces. We have to factor in drag. We have to factor in friction. Things things in that ballpark. Then you have to think about, if it's raining, it's the same thing. You can't really run outside when it's raining. You can't get technical work in most places unless you have a big indoor facility. You can't get your long runs out when it's raining because the ground may be too soggy, maybe too sloppy. And if you do get out there and run, then you have longer ground contact times, which are going to turn over into just slower times in general. And so, you can't take those things as absolutes, but you got to take them on the chin and just kind of work through them and get through them. And so those are the things that I just kind of, off the top of my head, I was thinking about this video today, kind of on the afternoon yesterday, and then this morning I thought about it. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to post it, just because, there's so much stuff out there that people talk about when it comes to speed. But most of the time when we hear it, we're talking about like the apex predators, so to speak. So a lot of times we talk about the top athletes, and we don't talk about the athletes on their way to the top or on that journey of being a professional athlete or a P5 athlete. Oh, y'all almost heard that southern that come out, athlete. And so we don't talk about those things. And so, I just want to make a video so it's relatable. So if you get bad times in this winter, or in bad conditions and weather, or maybe you're dealing with a lot of stress, or you're not recovering as well because you're not getting enough sleep, or, something in your life in the world that you're in right now may be big to you, then don't fret, because you'll bounce back. You just got to keep working through it. The biggest thing is working through it. Don't take that day to say like, okay, because this is happening, this is going on, well, I'm not going to do anything today. No, work through it. Be technical. Be technically sound. One thing that I always stress to my athletes is, when you're injured or things are not going your way, the thing you focus on is not your performance. What you focus on is your technical side of things. So be even more technical. Be even more efficient. And then when you do those things, good things usually happen. And so I hope this video helped. I hope this video was great. Didn't want to do anything too long. So if you like the content, go watch some of our other videos. As always, like, subscribe, share it with somebody, and be legendary.